Welcome to Building a Powerhouse Brand. I'm Jackie Laws, brand strategist, mentor, designer, author and founder of brand agency Bailey & Rue. My mission for this podcast is to support other women to build a magnetic personal brand and a business that allows you to have both financial and time freedom. Building your personal brand is not just about those visuals, it's about setting the stage as the real you and a magnet for those dream clients. Join me and my incredible guests as I dive into the strategies, insights, and stories behind building a successful brand. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a marketer, or simply intrigued by brand building, this podcast is your roadmap to success. Tune in each week as I explore branding, innovation, and influence, and join me on this adventure as we unleash the power of personal branding. Visit baileyandrue.com for more insights and follow me on Instagram at baileyandrue. This is Becoming a Powerhouse Brand. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Becoming a Powerhouse Brand. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the fear of failure, the fear of things being shit, basically. And this is something that can hold so many people back, especially if you are going through some kind of pivot or an up level in your business or even in your life. Like that fear of failure can actually cause a block that can stop you getting the results and the success that you're looking for. Now, if we think back to our life at school, when you're at school, you go through all the different lessons, all the different topics and everything, and you're basically set up and programmed at a very young age that success means getting good grades, getting a high percentage, getting grades A, B, C or whatever in an exam, doing all of this coursework, doing all this extra work and being good at every subject. Like, if you remember being at school, you have your parents' evening, or if you're listening to this from other countries, I don't know what you call it over there, but in the UK, it's parents' evening, where you might have that a few times a year where your parents go in and they speak to your teachers to find out how you're doing in all the different subjects, and just in general, like how you're performing at school. And it's all done based on your performance in a variety of subjects. Now, we are all totally different. We all have a different human design. We all have things that we are really good at, and we all have things that we're not so good at. We don't have to be good at everything. And actually, we shouldn't be good at absolutely everything. And yet when you're going through school, you are expected to be good at everything. And you're marked down for not being good at things. Like if you're not performing to a certain standard in all the different subjects, you're actually marked down. So if you're somebody that, like as an example, for me at school, one of the subjects I really, really struggled with and just could not get my head around it was maths. I am definitely no mathematician. And I really found this subject quite hard. I was in the bottom group for maths at secondary school. And although I was like one of the top in my class, I was still in that bottom set, to the point where when it came to exams, you actually had different tiers of exam papers that were being sat. So those really clever kids or the kids that were really good at maths, who actually by the school, by the teachers, and even by parents of the kids in school, were seen as the clever kids, that the kids that were in the top set for the academic subjects of science, maths, English, were seen as the really clever kids because they were in those top sets for those subjects. But when you're in those classes and you're given like papers where you have to perform to a certain level to get a certain grade, which means that you're going to get like whatever letter to your name, or a certain percentage or whatever, it makes you feel like crap, doesn't it, when you don't perform to that level, especially if you're someone that has put in a lot of effort. So going back to when I was at school, I put in 110% in every single piece of work that I did. I worked so hard at school and I put a lot of pressure on myself. I was one of those people that would do their homework the day it was set. I would always hand in my coursework on time. I was just always that person. I was really organized. I would just like to get it done and hand it in to the teacher on time. So in terms of performance, I was probably one of the best students in my class, but because I wasn't naturally good at some of those academic subjects, I wasn't getting graded to the standard that was expected of me. And it then just makes you fear doing exams and fear getting those other bits of homework and stuff, because you just think, well, I'm putting in all of this effort and I'm getting graded like a C or a D, and it's just not seen as being a good standard. So I think we're almost programmed through school that if you don't get these certain grades in all subjects, that you're not good enough, that you're actually, you could do better all the time. And having that year after year, like you think, how many years are you actually at school? I'm trying to think now, I can't work it out, but you're at school for a huge chunk of your life, especially if you're someone that's in like your 20s or 30s. You've spent actually a huge part of your life, most of your life at school. So to go through that repetition year after year in all the different classes, being told you're either really good at something or really rubbish at something and you need to do better. Like how many times do teachers say that in reports and stuff? Needs to do better, needs to revise more, needs to do this. And it can really knock every time you hear that, or your parents tell you that or whatever, like it knocks your confidence and it makes you feel like you're crap at what it is that you're doing. And I think when it comes to building your own business, there is that fear of failure, because if you've ever experienced, and I'm sure the majority of people listening to this, there will have been subjects that you studied at school, or perhaps you went to university or college or whatever, and perhaps it just didn't go according to plan. Maybe you weren't as good as what you wanted to be. Maybe you didn't get those grades that you really wanted to get. Or maybe you were absolutely amazing at certain subjects. Like I was really good at art, all the creative subjects, but just those academic ones I really struggled with. So if you're someone that's ever gone through that experience of not getting those grades that were expected of you, as a business owner, you've always got this fear of failure. And I'm sure if you've listened, if you haven't listened to the episode with Sharice Bisram, make sure you listen to that, because we talk about unleashing that inner power and childhood trauma, because it's such a huge part of like who we are as people, no matter what it is that you do in life. Things that happen to you as a child, it's situations that you're in, things you hear, all of those things, they form a muscle memory in your brain, in that you actually remember, your brain remembers that information. So it could be any kind of traumatic experience. So it could be a rubbish grade that you got at school. It could be you failed something. It could be you were told by a teacher you weren't good at something, or that you wouldn't be good at something. It might even be a situation that you had prior to school that you may feel like you don't actually remember, but it's logged in your brain and it is stored with you. And the thing is, as we grow up, all of those situations that you've been around, things that you've experienced, every single time there's any kind of repetition of that, it is confirming that belief that you have even further. So if you have experienced something, let's say you were somebody at nursery and you weren't very good at something that everybody else was doing, and maybe the nursery staff said, oh, you're not very good at that, maybe it's painting or something. Then if you imagine you're 5 years old and you've just started school, and then you're told, oh, that painting's not very good, what's that a painting of? I can't work out what that is. Then you might be told again at the age of 7, oh, that painting's not very good, and yet there's another child in your class that's being told, oh my gosh, that's amazing, you're going to be such a famous artist, like all this stuff. If that kind of pattern is repeated, and it's tiny, tiny comments or experiences that have just made you then confirm that that belief is true, you then have that actual belief about yourself that you're not good at something. And even as an adult, you might not even remember half of those situations. Just as an example, you might not remember all of that stuff, but actually it's so logged in your brain and it's been told to you enough times that you believe it. You believe you're not good at something, or that you believe that you can't do something in your business or your life because you're not very good at that particular thing. And we have this fear of failure because of past experiences. This is exactly why we have it, and it holds us back from stepping out of our comfort zone, because it doesn't feel safe, because of things that have happened to us in the past. And a lot of it is due to childhood trauma. And trauma isn't always a really awful thing that's happened. It can be very minor, little tiny comments that have happened, like I said, repeatedly, that have made you believe that. Now, the thing with growing your confidence is the more you do it, the more you do things that are going to help you grow your confidence, the more confident you get. So unless you're actually taking the action and doing those things, you're never going to be able to grow that confidence. And the thing is, when we're like launching a new offer, maybe we're growing our business, maybe we're investing in something that just feels really scary, maybe we have just put something out into the world that is brand new, we've never done it before, there's always going to be that element of like a fear of, what if it doesn't work? What if it's shit? What if people say that actually, that wasn't very good. That wasn't worth the investment. If you always feel like that, your energy just is not going to be showing up in a way that is going to be able to promote that service, promote that offer, and show that belief in what it is that you have. Now, one thing that I have personally done, I don't know if you've heard of this, but I would definitely recommend you check it out, is it's called belief coding. Now, this is quite a new thing, and I've actually had a couple of belief coding sessions with experts. And it's basically where it's almost like a hypnosis type thing, but it takes you back to past memories. So it could be you're talking about limiting beliefs. So anything you believe right now, things that aren't happening, things that you want in your life, but you feel like there's a block there that's stopping you getting it. Belief coding takes you back to childhood memories or memories that have happened in the past that take you back to where that belief first started. And it actually helps you to remove that belief so it transforms it into something that can give you the confidence and it gets rid of that limiting belief. It's one of those things that's really weird and you can't really, I'm not very good at explaining it. You have to experience it. And I've experienced it twice now. And both times it's been absolutely game changing. But these beliefs we have from our childhood can really hold us back with pushing our business out there further. But when we have this fear of failure and the fear of things being crap and just not working out, it really can put an energetic block on it. And when you have an energetic block on anything, it makes it much harder to sell, much harder to get those clients coming in, and it makes it more likely that you're going to attract the wrong kind of people to what it is you're putting out there because you feel like, maybe if you don't say it out loud, you might feel like it's not good enough for the kinds of clients you want to be working with. So when you are launching a new offer or you're putting a new service out there, or maybe you're rebranding or whatever it is you're doing that is kind of a pivot or a transition in your business, or maybe it is you just want to really push what it is you currently offer. Maybe you've not been showing up enough and you just want to make sure that you start getting those sales coming in and that you're really owning what it is that you're good at. If you have that fear of belief, it's going to make it much harder for you to show up. You need to be showing up in a way that makes you that frequency that makes you an energetic match for your dream clients. Now, when I say an energetic match, I don't mean you need to be bouncing around like off the ceiling, dancing and doing all those crazy like reels if that doesn't come naturally to you. An energetic match is somebody that matches your energy levels, your frequency. So if you are someone that's a very chilled out, calm person, and you want to be working with people that are very similar to you, then you can go out there with your calm energy, but still be confident and believe in how amazing what it is that you offer is. And one of the things I would recommend you do, if you haven't already listened to it, listen to my confidence boosting mini training, which was a previous episode, because it's really good. It's a really good tip to do to help you to really boost your confidence levels and have that self-belief in what it is that you do, because you are amazing at what you do. And I think deep down, you probably do believe that. But it's just you don't have that outer confidence that is really showing the world how amazing you are. And until you have that, it's going to be really hard for you to show up in a way that makes you really magnetic for those dream clients. So instead of having that fear of failure when you're putting things out there, what if you turned it around and said to yourself, this thing is going to work. My dream clients are coming. Like, I believe in this. I've put so much effort and energy into this. I'm so excited for what is going to happen. Like, I cannot wait to be able to support my clients in this way, rather than saying to yourself, it's not selling, it's not working. Oh, I haven't had any sign-ups in the first 20 minutes that I've put this thing out there. If you're focusing on that, you're automatically affecting your frequency and you're making yourself believe that you're not good enough. Whereas when we're actually holding our hands up and saying, no, I am absolutely bloody amazing at what I do, like 110% believe in what it is that I've put out there. It's amazing and it is going to transform lives. It is going to seriously help my clients. It's exactly what they need. All of this, like, because if that wasn't true, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. You wouldn't be running your business. You wouldn't have put that offer out there if you didn't truly believe that deep down. So it's just making sure that you're talking to yourself in a really nice way and actually showing up believing in yourself, because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't say to somebody else that what it is they're doing is rubbish. You're probably not going to tell somebody else that might be excited about what they're doing or they're about to launch something new. You're probably not going to be telling them, well, I don't think that's going to sell. If you do, you're probably a bit of a knob and you shouldn't really be listening to this. But if you're somebody that knows somebody else that's about to launch something, you'd be supportive. So why would you talk to yourself any differently? You have to really own your worth, know how amazing you are, and show up with that confidence and flip any limiting beliefs that you have. And just remember that just because school has programmed you to believe that you have to be good at all these different things, that is not the case in reality. You can be amazing at one thing and have that one thing as your niche. So whether you are an amazing photographer, own that. You might be absolutely awful at writing. You might not be able to spell. You might have ADHD, dyslexia, all of these things that make academic things a bit more difficult. You might be someone that cannot, for the life of you, write a sales page. That's okay. You don't have to be good at everything. You really don't. And I think this is something that when we become an entrepreneur and we start our own business, we feel like we have to be good at all these things, like because we have to do our marketing and our sales and our branding and our websites and our marketing, like all of this stuff. We have to do all of these things. We don't have to be good at it all. And actually, the cost of outsourcing things that we're not good at to somebody else makes it an absolute no-brainer, because it means that it's going to be done properly in a way that's going to make you feel good and get you the results. And it's also going to free up your time and your headspace because you don't even have to think about it. Now, if you are always focusing on those limiting beliefs that you've got, you're making life so much harder for yourself. So if you do have limiting beliefs and you do have a fear of failure or a fear of things not being good, or that an offer you're going to put out there isn't going to sell, I want you to write this down and then flip that into a positive. Like, how could you look at things differently? So any negative thoughts that you have during the day, write them down in a journal and then think, how can you flip that round? Because until you flip it, all you're going to be doing is repeating those limiting beliefs over and over and over, and you will believe it because it's exactly the same as all those comments or experiences you've had as a child, growing up through teenage stage and everything, that has then made that belief true because you've experienced it or heard it multiple times. So if you are telling yourself those limiting beliefs over and over and over again, you're going to make it true. Like, it's actually going to happen because you've told yourself that that's what's going to happen. Whereas if you reframe it in a positive way, you're going to make things so much easier. You're going to have so much more belief in yourself. You're going to have that confidence to show up and sell whatever the hell it is that you're selling. And it's going to make you so much more magnetic because people are going to feel your high energy, because people feel energy when you show up and talk on camera. And even if you're not even talking on camera, it could be how you're wording something in a caption. It comes across, people feel the energy, and you can tell quite easily from someone's content if they're coming from a place of lack or desperation and needing that next client or needing that sale, versus someone that is just so passionate about what they do. They know, because they're so confident in what they do, that they can make a difference, that they can help you, and that they have 110% belief in what it is that they're doing. They're the kind of people that are successful because people buy into that energy. So the more you can reframe your limiting beliefs, the easier it is going to be for you to have a successful business. So don't repeat things that are going to hold you back. Own the fact that you don't have to be good at everything, and the fact that we've gone through that experience as children. We don't have to believe it into our adulthood. We know, like, you can be really amazing at one thing. You don't have to be good at all these different things. So hopefully this has helped you today to reframe perhaps things that you have been telling yourself, or excuses that you might have been giving yourself as to why something isn't working right now in your business. And hopefully this is going to give you a tool that you can go away with, that's going to allow you to show up in a different way with different energy, and to get those clients booking you and to make you an absolute dream client magnet. If you haven't already, I am hosting a live masterclass tomorrow evening. If you're listening to this after this has gone out, then you will be able to get access to the recording. But if you send me a DM, high ticket, on Instagram at Jackie Laws, I will send you the details for accessing my free masterclass, which is all about becoming a high ticket client magnet. So this is all about using your personal brand and the importance of personal brand in order to position yourself as a leader in your field, an authority that is going to make you an absolute magnet for those next level premium high ticket paying clients. So if you would love to get your hands on that, DM me high ticket and I will send you the details. Have a beautiful day and I will see you next week. Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of building your own personal brand, head over to my website, baileyandrue.com, where you can grab my free Brand Brilliance Blueprint today. It's your roadmap to success in the world of branding. And hey, let's stay connected beyond the podcast. Follow me on Instagram at baileyandrue for daily inspiration, behind the scenes insights, and exclusive content to fuel your brand journey. See you there.